2 years ago, the buzzer sounded as the final game of my high school basketball career came to a close. Having sprinted miles up the court every day, I now pondered what my new daily workouts would be. So I turned to the one thing that I knew: running. Every day, I'd pull on my tennis shoes and go for a jog, hating every second of it. But I didn't know what else to do. And so that's why today I'm here to persuade you why women should strength train. I know there are some of you here that are not fans of women's strength training, women included. But today, I'm going to give you some reasons as to why women actually benefit from strength training. Additionally, there are some of you here that are already advocating that women should strength train, and you may be wondering how this speech is pertinent to you. Well, today, I'm going to increase your knowledge base so that you can better convince your own audiences as to why women should strength train. Personally, I've been strength training for 6 months and I love it. And additionally, in preparation for today's speech, I've read a wide variety of articles and studies as to why women should strength train. And so, what does strength training do? Well, our mental health benefits, our cardiovascular health improves, and our physical fitness improves as well. So, first off, how does our mental health improve from strength training? You may have heard of the social media celebrity, Granny Guns. Granny, as a teenager, was very fit, but 2 toxic marriages later, she developed an eating disorder, and her self-esteem was in the trash. So at age 58, she decided that she was going to get back on track. And now, she has been going to the gym for 4 years, feels stronger than ever, both physically and mentally. And so, it's clear, strength training boosts women's mental health. That's just one example. But there are 2 ways in which strength training does lift up women's mental health. First off, it allows us to push ourselves. According to the American Journal of Health Education, in an article from Bridgewater State University, a study participant stated that strength training allows her to push herself because she feels that she can handle more difficult tasks than what she can without strength training. Also, in the same study, participants felt that they could try new things. Why? They felt that they had a newfound confidence from strength training, and their fear of failure diminished greatly. And this wasn't the only way that women benefited from strength training. In fact, in that same study from Bridgewater State, women felt that they could better handle their emotions. Specifically, their post-workout positivity improved greatly. Participants felt that strength training was their high, and they just felt emotionally good after their workout. And, in addition to this, their stress levels reduced too. So it's clear that mental health improves when women strength train, but that's not the only thing. Cardiovascular health also improves when women strength train. First off, heart performance is better when women strength train. In fact, cardiac muscle gets stronger. According to a study published in the Physical Education Theory and Methodology, it was noted that strength training strengthens cardiac muscle so that more blood gets pumped throughout the body. And they've also seen that blood vessel function is bettered too. But heart performance isn't the only thing that improves. In fact, there's less stress on the heart when women decide to do some strength training. There are 2 ways in which that happens. Blood pressure decreases, and in an article that I just mentioned in the Physical Education Theory and Methodology, it was noted that, quote, there was a significant difference in diastolic, resting blood pressure between before and after exercising when strength training. And so, right here, I'm going to show you this fun little blood pressure chart, and it notes that the ideal blood pressure is 120/80. What does that 120 mean? Well, that's the systolic blood pressure, which is when the heart is contracted, and that's the pressure of the blood in the veins. The bottom number, the 80, is when the heart is resting, and that is the pressure of the blood in the veins. And then you'll also note on this chart that there are some other notes as to when your blood pressure gets higher than that, you're at an increased risk of stroke and heart attack. Not good. But lowered blood pressure isn't the only way there's less stress on the heart. In fact, it was found in the same study that resting heart rate decreases when women strength train too. Okay, mental health improves. Cardiovascular health is bettered, but that's not the only thing. Physical fitness is improved when women strength train too. How does that happen? Well, for one, bone density increases. According to a study done in the Sports Science and Health Journal article entitled The Benefits of Elderly Strength Training for Elderly Women, age 60 plus women who don't strength train can expect a loss of bone for 1% per year. But in contrast, for elderly women who do strength train, in the first 4 to 24 months, they can expect a 1 to 3% increase in bone density. That is incredible. And then muscle mass also improves when women strength train too. In fact, for women who don't strength train, it has been seen that they have a 3 to 8% loss of total muscle mass after the age of 30 per decade, and that percentage bumps up to 5 to 10% per decade after age 50. You can see in this chart right here that my stats that I've mentioned are similar, but it's also noted that once you lose more than 30% of your total muscle mass, your chance of death skyrockets. But that can start to be reversed by strength training. In fact, that Women in the Sports Science and Health Journal notes that maximum muscle activation increases by about 50%, and muscle cells can increase in size by a tenth when women start to strength train. And so today, we have discussed how strength training is beneficial to women by boosting mental health, improving cardiovascular health, and helping us stay physically fit. 6 months ago, I was scrolling through the PE classes that my university offers, and one caught my eye, a beginning strength training class. Since I was tired of the monotony of jogging on the treadmill, I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. And I found that I loved my new workouts. And guess what? I've included a link for you to check out. Pick 3 strength training exercises. There's a variety to choose from, and both you men and women can start strength training from the comfort of your own home without a gym fee. It's just one click away. And so it's clear. Women should strength train. There is nothing to lose, and so much to gain.